Yo, what the heck? You cut my favorite shirt, bro! I will fuck! Oh shit! I will find you, bro! This is so much money! What's good, everybody? My name is Blazzy, and this is the Sandbox. We're in downtown Los Angeles. This is my creative hub. This is where all, the magic happens. You feel me? This is where all the projects that we've been able to make the last 3 to 5 years, man, this is where we do it out of. Most importantly, not only do you all know me through all the designs, the podcast, we got the Biggest Bros podcast hub right here. We have right at the entrance. And beyond that, this hallway, we'll show this room last, but pretty much this hallway encompasses all the projects that we've been able to do for our clients these last 3 years. I'm gonna say 3 to 5 years. These are all official projects. We got no fan art on the wall. These are all things that we've done for like our clients. Everything from V-Loan, Juice World, Weekend. We got runs projects. We got gang of stuff we done for FaZe Clan. Shout out to FaZe Clan, And then we got special moments like, everything from like TATE, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Wayne. This was for Carter 5 right here. Shout out to, Lil Wayne. They went crazy on that album. Then Eminem, they hit us up. Hey, we want to do Marshall Mathers LP, 20th anniversary merch. Let's do so. Get it done, you know what I'm saying? These are all, and these are just our favorite projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd say in total, we probably have done we for sure are in the thousands of designs that we've done for like people, There's some that made more than others, these are just our favorite, Like, okay, these are like sick, you know what I'm saying?
So a design like this, how does it get on the wall compared to all the others?
Man, if I showed you, we'd all 80% for the most part agree what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, okay, these are our favorite, They don't always have to sell the best, but sometimes they're sentimental. Like, for instance, the TATE, this is this is if I was a math teacher, I'm gonna grade this a C-, you know what I'm saying? It's around 70% good. But it's so special, it belongs here because this is the first design that I made that transitioned me from doing cover art and flyers for all these random motherfuckers on Twitter for years into doing t-shirts. I was in Dallas at the time, and this is the first time it went viral, right? This is July, this is the end of June, the end of June 2017. He's going viral for being on the top 10 most wanted. I'm in Dallas, he's from Dallas. His people hit me up like, yo, we could do it, but we don't got no money for you. At the time, charging $100, $150. So I'm thinking I'm the shit, right? I'm like, nah, I can't do that. And then my homies are like, bro, you're tripping, do it. I'm like, put my pride aside, did it, and it went up, bro. It ended up being a point of reference for me and my clients for years to come after that. And until this day, you go on Amazon, you go on eBay, check it out yourself for the viewers, There's a gang of bootlegs, you know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of this one on a sentimental level, just because it helped me realize that maybe I could do t-shirt designs and I don't have to do cover art every single day,
I feel that with commission work.
Yeah.
You said you kind of took that chance on yourself, and you're like, man, it was $150, but this $150 was the gamble that kind of changed everything for you.
Yeah. And it's no bullshit, clients do, it's something that does help for them to be like, okay, cool, this guy did A and B. Damn, let me hit him up. Maybe he's about his shit, So, and a big reason on why we have these lined up like this is just for the fact that there's no award ceremony, there's no plaques that no label would give you if you make successful merch. So we went ahead and put it upon ourselves and developed our own, award ceremony. There's no plaques for what we got going on. So what we did is we went ahead and made posters about it, So Juice WRLD FaZe Clan gets a poster. You know what I'm saying? Half Evil Chainsaw Massacre gets, a moment. So does the V-Loan Juice WRLD, say what you want about V-Loan, but you can't argue that he had that shit in a chokehold from 2015. We call it an era, from 2015 to say 2020. People would argue that. But when I was given the opportunity, I'm like, man, as a graphic designer, I'm getting a chance to make my own V. We made 3. I got like a 007 one that we made for Bari. Got like a lightning one. But this one was my favorite. This one was blood. Like, I was like, how have y'all not ever done that? And I always told myself, like, y'all graphic designers watching, y'all could be in the comments all y'all want, but you guys in your head always told yourself, this is what I would do if I was given the chance. And that's the way I approached it, you know. So we kept that there. And this is like a back room, you know. We do content. This is just like storage for the most part. And this used to be our warehouse, but now it's real storage. It looks like some bullshit. Like, it looks like something like you can't. I don't know. It feels like you're at a library or something like that, like a back room of a library. It's just random shit. But you know this. But we used to do our warehousing in that room. It got to a point where, you know what, the warehousing is getting out of control. We need our own space. So we have a space about 2 blocks from here. That's around the same size of like this whole office feels gutted out, just filled with boxes, bro. Like, you would get a headache if you're in there. So this is a dope piece for me, just because, you know, I understand what Grateful Dead brings to the culture. You know, they're known for having an immersive culture themselves, and if I wanted to be part of it, in particular when it comes to t-shirts, that better come correct. So when Chinatown Market, you know, now known as Market, decided to do their collab, they hit me up like, hey, Blazzy, you know, at that point, we're already years, man. I got Market tatted, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mike Sherman is one of the few people who could get drunk as hell and tell people, man, I made Blazzy. Man, I made Blazzy. And I wouldn't care. You know what I mean? Like, he really did. He really helped me out.
His I made it card, or I made him card.
Exactly. Yeah, bro. You could probably get like a couple dollars off at like a taco spot, but like beyond that, like I don't know where that'll get you too far, but you know, nevertheless, Mike Sherman, I'm very appreciative. You know what I'm saying? Very thankful for what he's done for me, and like, you know, the vision he's helped me you know, grow into. At the time when we were working on projects, you know, when I was doing TATE, yeah, my rate was about $150. You know, I was doing a lot of cover art, a lot of Twitter commissions, and at the time, t-shirts weren't really one of the bigger reasons people were, you know, rocking with me. From that point, once this shirt came out, you know, my DMs were flooded with, cool, let me get a t-shirt design. So we went from 150 to around like, let's say like $300 in about a year. Around that time, you know, I was a graphic designer who was in a ton of group chats, you know, graphic design. If you're a real graphic design like grinder, you know what I'm talking about. Just random ass group chats of projects and everyone submitting their own opinions, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this means anything to anybody, there was a time where like myself, Ryder, you know, an athletic that, you know, does this thing at Hellstar now, Codon, we were all in our group chats, you know what I'm saying? And one of those in particular, I was in a group chat with a graphic designer named Dylan Gerstung. He got into Mike Sherman's ear about, yo, you need to rock with this guy. As soon as he got his chance, his foot in the door, he was a real one. He was like, you know what, let me get my boy in there. And then from there, we locked in. It took me 3 tries, though, to get Mike's attention. I never brought up this story to him directly, but, I mean, I've said it on interviews maybe like a dozen times. You know, the first time wasn't it. Second time, third time, it was the Finder logo, right? We could all kind of look at that. I got the folder, smiley face. He turned his computer. He was like, I'm making the same thing. And then he's like, you know what you can do? You can do mock-ups for us. And then within 6 months, you know, he saw what I was able to do, you know, behind the scenes, I guess. And, you know, he respected me enough to be like, cool, let's throw him as a full-time graphic designer, you know. I was really going crazy, though. You know, Mike Sherman would tell you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was a beast at it. And he was, you know, and this is a style, you know, he comes from a background of doing a lot of illustrated, you know, AI-based. When I mean AI, I mean Adobe Illustrator. You know, he was doing a lot of AI-based designs where most of this, I'm gonna say 90, maybe one of these might be made on Illustrator, but it looks like all of them were made on Photoshop. You know what I'm saying? So, it was something new for him, but like, you know, he honored me, respected me, bro. Even after I left working for him, that door was always open. And if I ever need help, if I ever need to strategize on some shit, need a second opinion, shit, I asked him. He's one of the richest people I know. Shit, you know what I'm saying? But this one was cool just because we had somebody who I mean, I would call him like a historian, a Grateful Dead historian. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a community where, you know, it's like a hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? They don't respect the regular people. You gotta earn your stripes. So we got with a real one, and he told us, you know, at first I had the skeletons lined up right here, and he was like, I don't know if this is facts or not. So maybe if it's not, y'all could trip on them. But like, he said the Mr. Still Your Face cannot be on the same design that features skeletons. So I'm like, it is what it is, all right. And he's like, but what would be cool is if we turn these little guys into aliens. So that's what we did with the Bears, bro. And, you know, people got this shit tatted on them now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a huge honor. And I'm glad I was able to fulfill that Grateful Dead graphic designer bucket list check off. Yeah.
Hell yeah, and both those designs right there.
Which ones?
Both the V-Lone and the...
Grateful Dead, oh God, bro. Oh God, put that on my grave. Put the V-Lone logo and a Grateful Dead bear on my grave.
Very like Virgil 2017, just like I did everything I wanted to do for my 17-year-old self.
Yeah. You know what? Thank God. You know, it's hard for me sometimes to view things in retrospect. Like it don't hit me till like 6 months later. You know, and it's not until I have like engagements like this, I'm like, oh shit, you're right. Like that's sick. You know, but I'm super thankful. You know, I'm thankful to God most importantly, and I'm thankful that I fucking thugged it out. You know, I rode the wave. You know, this is like the main office. You know what I'm saying? Well, this whole shit the office, but this is kind of where I work at. I like working at a desk. You know. I love tables. Like, it's not office unless it got a table. You know what I'm saying? So we got that going on. You know, everyone just works right here. We just kick it. You know, there's desk opportunities they want to on the other side. And, you know, for the most part, this room is what I like to call, you know, filled with tattoos. You know, everywhere you look around, it's just some shit. You know, some of it nothing personal, some of it not. For the most part, this is all MP right here, though. All MP, you know, and then that's just like collector. Nah, but you know, that MP, you know, mirror, that's a little gift. You feel me? We got the wall clock right there. We got some mirrors, you know what I'm saying? So we be mixing it with the two, but yeah, man, this is where we get the shit done, you know? On top of doing, you know, designs for clients, we also have a brand Nothing Personal that we've had for 5 years, and that's kind of what we're all focused on here. You know, we developed a lot of products. I think a big portion of what we bring to the table is the fact that we're able to develop these products that no one's ever seen before, you know? So I want to start off by, you know, sharing some of our favorite items that we made in the past. For sure, I think this was my personal favorite. This one's Ash on Me Ashley. We made this in 2000, and why did I say 2000? We made this in 2022? Yeah, something like that. I don't know, 2021, but like this thing really blew up our brand. You know, it messed up my head when I was so scary to like place the order. I was like, damn, 250. I don't think I could clear that. Like, and my business partner at the time was like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you're tweaking if you don't get 500. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. Like, I just want 250. And I ordered 250. They sold out within 10 minutes online. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. So that's when I realized, like, okay, like, Blazzy, you got something going on, you know? On top of that, I wish we had some more of the classic pieces here. We do a lot of pop-ups where sometimes we'll share those items at the space, so we don't have them here. I mean, another great item is Chapo Narco. This was an item that we made in collaboration with Hectic Universe. You know, we decided to, you know, to make El Chapo a plushie. Like, there's nobody I probably want on my couch chilling more than El Chapo. I don't know. I'll be real true, you feel me? So what we did when we were thinking about the packaging, and that's something that like we really started striking on around this time, was, okay, let's make people feel guilty about a box. You know, like, I think the great thing about Louis Vuitton, about like Gucci, about Versace is the fact that, like, man, those boxes just chill in your closet for like 9 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, you find some stupid reason, put buttons in there or whatever, you know? Like, we want people to feel guilty throwing boxes away. So that's why we go crazy with the packaging. And then we did Nigo by Migo, which had the same effect, you know what I'm saying? We just went crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? It's a crazy factory. You feel me? Like, but yeah, you know, and It's a collab we have with Runts. You know, this is another ashtray. These are like, this is a product that like was really special. This is kind of like a fried version of it, but this is the greatest match hits. Pretty much people I think associate creativity with like expensive like production, when the truth is like you can make creativity and like provide something that's very affordable. We decided to develop a crate, a match set of crates, or a crate assembled of matchbooks that are based around album genres. So for this part, we had these are all fucking different actually. Yeah, we had Bastard right here. We got Metallica one. Then we got Gorillaz one. Los Tigres at Norte. But like, essentially what we did is we put these matchbooks in here, sold them as a 5-pack, and they blew up for us, man. We sold, the first time we dropped them, we had we sold 2,000 in like a couple of hours, bro. It was mind blowing. I was like, damn, what the hell? Yeah, so this one is Super Stash Bros right here. So, you know, when it comes to the whole market of stash containers, I always thought it was oversaturated. It was boring, especially like if you're a real smoker, like, not pause, but like that's just weird to call, like claim yourself. But like if you really be smoking, like you've seen the Pringles, you've seen all this extra shit. Like, that's just dumb, you know. So we wanted to think of like creative ways where we could stash something. You know, it all stems from like, cool, let's have a stack of DVDs, to like, after that, awesome, let's have it slightly different every single time. You know, to all right, let's get a 3D designer to figure out what this is gonna be hollowed out. And then I'm thinking about like, wait, this ain't a fucking DVD container unless it got these stupid hinges. Like, I was big on that, bro. Like, I was gonna die on that hill. I died on that hill. RIP, you know, like, I needed those hinges to put this thing in here. This product would have been done like 9 months earlier if this didn't exist. And this is the least important part of the product. You know, I run.
Piece of the pie to make it all.
Unfortunately, it's the homework. You have to make this. I've never seen a single person post this shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're posting the box, you know, that it's a product, but it, you know, you have to do it.
It's the details that make it wrap up in the end.
And that's the nothing personal promise right there, you know? Yeah, we just want to make sure there's details everywhere. Like, shout out to Reduciano. He actually made this front design. Like I said, I'm a fan of graphic designers. Like, there's like 4 or 5 designers that like tapped in on this project with me. But Reduciano did the front. You know, he added my characters that blew me up. You know, we got Bank Bob, we got Ashley, we got Ningo My Migo, and we got Chapo Mi Narco. This is my favorite product we ever made. I'm gonna keep it real, man. Like this is my touch to sky. You know, it's subjective, you know, of when I blew up, but like, I think I kind of started getting traction when I made the Perk 30 jersey. Very important part of my career, you know, I was very proud of making it. And people started dying of it. My friends started dying. I started feeling really guilty. They started selling drugs using the Perk 30 jersey. Go ahead and Google it. It's on YouTube. Someone clipped it up. It's like a whole thing on YouTube you can search on. But, you know, they were using my jersey to like sell pills with online on OfferUp, on Complex Conf, fucking the opposite on Craigslist. And I just felt like I was affecting the culture in a negative way. People die from that shit. So I made the Say No to Fentanyl piece to kind of like offset that change. And man, I'm proud to say that it's my most successful product I've ever dropped. You know what I mean? Like, we sold thousands of these shirts. And like, I've genuinely ran into like probably a dozen times into people just wearing it on the street. So it means a lot, you know. So that was a special moment for sure. That's a special piece that like, I'm glad I could say I was able to do. So yeah, I just got tired of, you know, whenever you make perk merch, you start meeting perk people. I never thought that was a thing. I thought perks were just like a Future song, Molly Percocet, Molly Perk, you know what I'm saying? It was a joke. It was like, oh, when the 30 hit, like, no one took a 30, it was just a joke. At least I thought it was. I never took that shit like that. And started meeting all these people, and I'm like, bro, this ain't right. Like, we need to have a stop. We need to have an end to this. So I made the Know Your Pills, Fentanyl Kills, Say No to Fentanyl shirt, you know? And it's my best seller. And, you know, a couple brand owners were telling me, don't drop it, bro. It's not your place to talk about that, you know? Don't do it. It's a sensitive topic. And I'm so glad, like, moving forward, I always learned to not to take anyone's advice about, like, drops anymore. Like, all right, just figure it yourself. But I'm sorry, I just checking out my Postmates. But, no, you know.
What's the Postmates order?
Chicken Madeira with the Caesar salad and like this bread that they be having at Bossa Nova. Shout out to Bossa Nova. But here's the thing: it's like my next door neighbors could be petty sometimes, and they might steal some shit. So you know you gotta be on it.
That's fair.
Hell yeah, man. But yeah, this is
On some LA shit, people be selling the DoorDash.
yeah, bro. Some LA shit for sure. I'll take that. Yeah, motherfuckers always be stealing DoorDash. We gotta fucking go chase them down, or they'll give it to the neighbors. Or it'll be pissing me off because like bro, like it clearly says it in like numbers outside what building this is, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but like come on, dog, like you can't drop it off at the like why you giving it? You know what I'm saying? Like why you giving it to this completely different address that's like all dressed up that no one would need food delivered to? I don't know. I don't mean to rant on here. This isn't a place to rant on, but shout out to Round 2 for coming to the office.